So one set of fears is that we're afraid for the kids online, right? What are they going to be exposed to? How might they be harmed? Can you see okay? Sort of? Okay. Are they going to see pornography? Are they going to encounter sexual predators? What about violent images? I have a lot of conversations with kids and parents about violent video games and about video games, and how do we keep the 13-year-olds and the 12-year-olds and the 10-year-olds off of Grand Theft Auto and off of all of the violent video games, and that's a big issue. And video games are now also social media, because if you're playing video games, it's no fun to play by yourself. I can still play solitaire for hours all by myself, and I don't need anybody else there with me. But there's not a kid who belongs to any of you who would be satisfied doing that. It's a social thing. That's the fun of video games at this point. So we're worried about what can happen for our kids, but then there is the age-old fear of teenagers. And people are afraid of teenagers. You're walking down the street and there's a group of teenage boys. A teenage boy just walked into the room, so this doesn't apply to him. You could be a little bit nervous because a group of teenage boys can be a little bit unpredictable. So there's a lot of concerns about, if the kids are online, are they going to do terrible things? And what if they get themselves into big trouble? And what if they get themselves into legal trouble? And then what if it comes back to bite us? What if they download things that are pirated, and then Verizon calls us and says, you've been stealing, and can easily lose a job that way? And what if my child becomes the bully or hurts somebody? So that's certainly a concern. The reality is that there's so many worries about what kids are doing online. The risks of in-person danger are still so much greater than the risks of online danger. So we want our schools to be safe, we want our churches to be safe, and we want our homes to be safe. Those are the three most dangerous places, unfortunately, for kids, because the worst things happen to kids in those three environments. And so when you read the literature about parental fears about social media use, some of the adult fears are, they're understandable, but a little bit unfounded, because the statistics and the reality don't support that most kids are getting harmed or hurt. Which isn't to say that there aren't lots of kids who haven't gotten into compromising positions online and who've encountered sexual predators and people who are there to stalk, but real life still takes the cake. And the other thing is that, when you're sitting in school and somebody shuns you or gives you a dirty look or makes a nasty face, that hurts so badly. What social media has done, and I'm not telling you anything you don't already know, is that it's like another way to rub salt in the wounds, and certainly to make it worse. So I lived in a small town the summer after college, and I was not in a relationship, but I moved to this small town, and I might have come home one morning, and everybody in the town knew. It was like 6 o'clock in the morning, and I'm thinking everybody should be sleeping at 6 o'clock in the morning. But news spreads like wildfire in a small town, and the internet is a very small town. And a lot of times the kids are on talking with other people they know in a community. It's a community. They want to have a sense of belonging. And so while we're afraid that they're talking to strangers in Timbuktu, a lot of the people that the kids are talking to are people in their schools, people in Tampa, people that they've met at summer camp, friends of friends, and it's a community, and it's a public place for them to be. But getting back, it's good that I have slides, because I could start talking. But the issue with the cyberbullying is that it really makes it worse, but it starts at school, and the stuff that happens at school is really devastating. So parents are walking the fine line, and I have struggled with this for a long time, because parents have come to me for years saying, I want to put my child in bubble wrap, and I don't want to let them out, and I don't want to let them online. The world is too scary. And how on earth do you walk that fine line between respecting your child's privacy and looking out for their well-being? And it is really hard, and I was a little bit relieved to know that nobody has the right answer, so I didn't have to give you the right answer tonight, because we are a little bit in uncharted territory and finding our way. This is it's kind of a whole new world, and we kind of live in the world of the Jetsons. So I hope that what I'm going to give you tonight is a little bit more of an understanding about why kids are online and what they're looking for, and how we can help them to self-police a little bit and to have some judgment, and how you can have some involvement without being Jennifer Garner. Because Jennifer Garner is a very scary actress in this movie, and she, give me your phone, and she goes through everything. She scours this child's computer every day. Give me your phone, give me your stuff. And still, that child manages to have a Tumblr account that her mother doesn't know about, where she has pink hair and where she is dressing provocatively and probably sexting and getting away from it. And Jennifer Garner has a support group for parents to teach parents how to police their children's online lives. So the technology is there to help you on some level to police your kids' activities, but really it comes down to the relationship you have with your kids and holding them accountable to some degree, because they are going to find a way, and the more we restrict, the more we kill the relationship, and the more creative they become. So happily, I do not have to tell you about any of these because that's been taken care of. So I am a faithful Facebook user, and I don't see a lot of kids on Facebook, because basically what I'm told is that they will use it to keep family updated, and they don't mind sharing some of what goes on Instagram on Facebook to make the people who are the losers, who are still on Facebook, happy, so we know a little bit about what's going on, and it's just for family.